So hello, it's me, Jimmy T. Okay, now hopefully this video will help you. Okay, your question. Pigment. Okay, now today I'm going to be using this pigment. Okay, now just for example, so far I'm using okay. I feel okay, but my own dilution. Now, if you question about me when you do shading, can you use the dilution? My answer may be yes, maybe no. Okay, I try it, but the one we mix together is a little bit better. It's a little bit better. So, but in the beginning, you just like drop 10%, 20% to try it. Now, if in the future I figured out some better pigment, I will disclose to you. So I forgot how many jobs I did. Okay, I did 10 jobs, maybe around. Okay, so now for safe, for sure it's more than 10. For safe, write it down whatever you do. Okay, so hopefully you're able to see it. Okay. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, because I want to show you the more extreme result. Okay, so that's why I drop 4 drops. I believe right now is at least 30 to 40%. Now mix is so important. Mix. Make sure a good mix. Of course, if you're using machines, will be mixed better. Machines, okay? If you're using machines, will be a lot better. Machines, but that will easy to spread everywhere, so that's why you still want to using little brush. Now everything clean, okay? When you're using pigment or mix your own dilution, sterilize everything using alcohol wipes and everything possibility. Now the diluter, I will recommend you to like remix maybe every month, 2 months, something like that, but make sure check the expiration date of the chemical. Not really like chemical, this is like medical guy. We can buy it in the market. You don't really need a license to get it. So, but don't use too much. Don't use too much. Now the audience asked me she is using the Y22. Now she concerned how much the needles hangout is very based on the viscosity as well. So for the Y22, simple way, okay, you all the way make it like close all the way now, and then open it up. When the space enough to put a penny, so the needles hand out should be okay. Now in these machines only, okay, this is different story. Okay, if you're using Mars P60, it's different story. Today I'm using the Mars, let me see, 0801 RL as a demonstration. Of course, Cordon is very good brand for needles. Okay, for needles. Now because of the viscosity is kind of increased it and easier to implant into the skin. You don't need to carry too many different size. 0801 or 1001 is okay, because I see one little stuff solving a lot of problem. Okay, solving a lot of problem. Now the one you show me is the pigment is too thick. I believe it's for microblade. Okay, so some manufacturers, they kind of give you a thick pigment so you can use thing for microblade, but shading you need to add the diluter. Of course I tried before, just like 100% the pigment for microblade, of course, is very difficult when you do shading. Now, very clarified this point, okay? Now let the machines run. Now the needle's handout is very depends on you. So sometimes the needles hand out a little bit longer. I love to hand out a little bit longer, but when you do shading, it's a lot of empty heat. What that means is when you do shading, it's no pigment, so that means you hand out a little bit too long. Again, based on the viscosity. Okay. So now how to dip the pigment, okay? You just, the needle shelf just barely touching the pigment, they will dip it. Okay, about 1 to 2 seconds. Again, very depends on the viscosity. A lot of little bit knowledge, tattoo, because a tattoo artist especially using the black. Now this is carbon, okay, they mix with water, okay, so mix, because of why they can using water, because of the its carbon is easier to mix with water. So my diluter in the future, even though it's on tattoo, if you want to use this diluter, is it okay? I will say if you using the carbon with my new diluter, okay, technically it's okay, but you can mix more water, okay, you can mix more water. So now if the pigment is too thick, so what you can do is like clean up around, not direct like this, otherwise the ink will absorb by the paper towel. So around it, okay. So now let me do some shading. Now this is the practice skin. This is expensive one. This is called real skin. This is expensive one. This is latex. I will test it for you. Okay. When you do shading, now this is another thing is you just like do like this. You little bit more swing. Little bit more swing. Not necessary to be fast. Now I'm using the high quality camera for you. Hopefully you can see every dot. You're able to see it. Okay. So now for the depth into the skin, like this is a lot of experience, but I can tell myself it's no more than 0.5 right now. I would say like more than about 0.3. Now this practice skin, when you do like 0.3 is okay. Some tattoo practice skin is tough, so that's why this is closer to the human skin. One at a time. Little bit angle, when you get down a little bit angle, okay? So of course try to be 90 degrees the top view as possible. One little bit longer than another, okay? Not necessarily like all even. Now you can tell how pixelized. Can you able to see it? Like this is the one. This is the one. This is the one. Okay? How pixelized. Now when you do it on the live customers, of course when you're shading like this, you stretch the skin like this. When you're shading like this, you stretch the skin like this. Is it okay? Does it make sense? But gently stretch. Not like stretch like super tight. Hopefully my arms doesn't block it, you know. And of course a very little this is the baby oil, will help to wipe off the pigment easier. Okay, now the first pass you try to do as even as possible. Now this is basic, but what I do sometimes, even though on the first pass I make the tail already a little bit more density already, but in the beginning, step by step, no 100% like the correct way, but as long as you know what you're doing, nice and clean, like one at a time, you will see significant result. Now think about this way, for the skin or even those on the practice skin, the pigment or ink, they need a little bit of time to settle. Okay, if you go like too fast, what happened? Okay, you're missing a lot of dot and then create a bigger trauma. See, this is not a dot, it's already like kind of oval. So why not again like 5.6, about 5.6. This is 3.0 stroke length. If you're using mask P60, like do something similar. Okay, now by the way, take a look at, like I do a lot of tests, not like really kidding you. Now the pigment, okay, if your diluter have a good mix, the color is brighter, more vibrant, and the color doesn't shift. Now before I test it, because I put too much, I believe this one is rich hazel, so the color turn darker and then turn a little bit green, okay, which is you don't want it. So now because of like we don't using machines mix or whatever, every 10 minutes is try to like using your brush mix a little bit. Now the benefit using the diluter is like you're using less pigment, the procedures faster, and then doesn't dry out that fast. A lot of benefit. Now, but again, don't using a lot. 50% so far, I suggest you to do max. But in the beginning, like try 10 job. I mean 10%, 20%. I try to make the shape is like as look like the brows as possible. A lot of technique like you need to know, but everything link it up. Now this is one direction. Sometimes one direction is a good technique already. Okay? But to a point, can you do like pendulum like this? Yeah, when you feel like smooth, you will can able to do pendulum. Okay. Now again, like slower, not too slow. Too slow will be what? Like will become a line. Now when you like this is a little bit curved, so my machine should turn a little bit angle, otherwise it's harder to doing a curve. Okay. So now you might how about this? I'm using the latex as a demonstration for you. Now you can do the tail at first, okay? Now of course, like overall, when you like doing is you do outline first. Outline is like small pendulum lining technique. Okay, so it's small pendulum lining technique, which is included in my class, but hey, if you get it, this will be a 3 sections. So now this is technique number 1. Now to me sometimes I will do like this. Now another thing is angle. Now this is advanced already, okay? Okay. Can you do that? Of course, if you like more advanced technique, yes. Okay, especially for a lot of people ask me for the nano. Now nano is angle. Okay, this angle, this angle, this and that, a lot of different practice. So the position, some people doing like this, but when I do this, my pinky fingers is holding like this. Adjustment, know 100% what is the best, but you need to know what is the different, what is the best suitable for you. Now another thing is once your muscles getting stronger, you can do better, but play around with your speed, relax, okay? Now somehow I feel a little bit difficulty on the latex, so I just increase a little bit of the voltage, okay? As simple as that. It's nothing like 100%, but I only can tell you the range. Okay, a little bit Vaseline. So of course, to a point, like the live model will be a little bit faster. Okay, the live model will be a little bit faster. So of course you can go back to like just slightly touch up and before we jump to the second pass. Okay. Now, of course, I told you guys 3 pass, right? Of course, you can do like kind of touch up a little bit and make it like more detail in some area. So now this is Ombre Powder Brows, okay, in 3 pass plus 1 touch-up pass. Okay, of course you're going to practice one side And then now another challenge is when one side is doing well, you start doing both and even as possible. Now a lot of tips how to make it even in my class already. Okay, so now it very depends on how much coffee I drink that day. Sometimes I would be crazy and then disclose a lot of little bit technique to share in the public, but yeah, this area I need like put a little bit more pressure somehow. Oh, it's no battery, so haha. Alright, Mars P60. Woo! I love it. So I didn't charge for like I didn't charge for a couple of days. I think at least because why I using Mars P60 more often lately because of your request. Okay, I bring up my machine and test it to you. Now sometimes it's hard to release. I mean, it's hard to set the needles because your hand is a little bit slippery. Release a little bit more. Okay, now the stroke length is 2.9 right now. My hand out a little bit more. Yeah, of course, the ink kind of dry out, you can do like this. Now some people say this hole is facing you, okay? It's hard to define, you know, it's a little bit, it's hard to define. Yeah, sometimes it's tough for me. Is I keep switching the machine and different practice skin, this and that. Like it's not easy. Okay, you need to get used to like one setup. So to a point, see, when I switch it to 3.2, now longer stroke length, technically you need to run a little bit higher voltage. Okay, different, every customer's the skin is different, so that's why you need to adjust during the procedures. So of course I don't know why this area is not deep enough, so maybe the position or the table, so I move this whole thing up and hopefully I can. What kind of style you try to create, like the shading technique. This is like very basic. Of course you can do more styling, something like that. Like I love to do is like at the end. Okay, hopefully you're able to see. Okay, that one, this one. Now this is, of course, this is single needles. Huh? Now if I show you how to use the curved magnum, like I can do this like 2 to 3 times faster. So of course you don't want to jump step yet. Hey, this is the solution. Now this is my work a lot faster. But step by step, time is money, knowledge is money, and how Jimmy T help you to solve so many problems. And this is value. Now I'm not looking for a lot of stuff. I'm just looking for leave a comment below. At least say, hey, give me a like. Of course, take my class will be sponsor me a lot.